stylish slasher film that is both smart and creepy in its delivery, straying away from familiar tropes and keeping us as viewers on our toes for the entire ride. This piece might seem straightforward in its concept, but digging a bit deeper, it's actually trying to explore the theme of extreme haunted houses and how trauma survivors subconsciously will put themselves in harm's way despite having dealt with dangerous scenarios their entire lives. Overall, I love the film because not only are the protagonists interesting and relatable, but our villains are equally surprising, terrifying, and iconic. The use of the old-school vacuform style masks was brilliant and have already carved their own niche in subculture. If you haven't taken this ride yet, hop on Shudder this Halloween and stream it. Thank you.
Nice. That was beautiful.
I try. So, Chris, I know off air you said you actually really enjoyed this one, so I'm curious, as a non-horror guy, how do you perceive this film? What'd you think of it? What was your experience? Did you watch it with Natalie?
I did. And she was freaking out a little bit. To me, it was... I don't remember a lot of jump scares.
Yeah.
Which I liked, that there wasn't... Like, there's that one at the very beginning, I think. But other than that, I'm like... Oh, it was more of, like, putting you in... You were with them. You were going through the haunted house with them. You saw things. If you paid attention early on through the van, you saw the group going before them. Mm-hmm. So you saw that girl in the costume when they pulled her out of the body bag.
Yeah.
So I pointed that out to Natalie, but she didn't really see that part.
It made sense, right?
Yeah, so like I like that. I liked it all because like I've always thought about those horror places, like they could totally get away with killing someone, and they tried this not too long ago with another movie, right? Where it wasn't a maze. They're at like a Halloween haunt type deal. I want to say it's like fairly new.
Is it? Are you talking about the houses October built? Is it that one?
No.
What is it called? The Maze?
It's something close to that, and like
where they're doing an escape room, right? That one?
Well, no, it wasn't an escape room. It was like if they went to a theme park type deal.
Hellfest?
Yes, that one.
Yeah.
I never saw it, so I can't really judge on it. But I thought I liked this version just by like the preview of Hellfest, and then this one. I like this version better, but I like the idea of that too, because I'm always there when I went to like 2 of these, and I was like, they totally kill someone. Wouldn't fucking know. Would never know. Totally get away with it. Mm-hmm. I did feel the ending was rushed, and I'm talking like the last 5 minutes.
Yeah,
they could have stretched that out because I liked the ending, and it would have been a little bit better. They didn't dive. They tried to really make you feel what the main lead, what she felt. Don't think it quite hit there.
So missed the mark a bit?
Missed the mark, but I saw what they were trying to do, and it was funny because I'm taking a screenwriting class, and they were talking about plot points, which, I mean, most people, like, if you're fans of movies, you kind of know when these points hit anyway. And I was telling that, like, usually in the first 10 minutes of the first 10 pages, you know that something happens that drives the rest of the movie, like where they're going to go next. And she's like, that's not true. I'm like, yeah, it kind of is. And she goes, all right, well, we got this so long. And I paused it, like, right after they said, like, let's go to a haunted house. And it's like 10 minutes and something seconds. So I thought that was pretty neat. Like,
yeah, it's the hook.
Yeah, it is. And then I thought it was neat that I was kind of like able to teach or show her how the script's written, and it wasn't done like bad. I'm not knocking it, but like it followed that formula. But no, I enjoyed it. I liked it. Also, like the kills weren't super crazy. There's like maybe one that was. The dude in the baseball uniform should have kept his hat on the whole time because he looked real old once you took that off. I enjoyed it. It was fun. Jump scares wasn't crazy, and it was interesting at like what's going on. I do want to see more of like, did these people do it often? Was this their first time? And then I even mentioned at one point in it that they haven't killed any of them yet. Because usually in a movie like that, the survivors kill one of the people that are trying to kill them, which pisses them off even more.
And then it keeps going.
Yeah. And I'm like, that shit hasn't happened yet. So I was like, it was interesting, and yeah, no, I enjoyed it. It was a fun watch, and the scares you thought were coming didn't. I think they did a good job. I didn't know it was the writers of A Quiet Place.
It was.
Yeah, that's interesting. But no, I enjoyed it. I would watch more movies like that. So yeah, I had a good time. It was fun.
James, how about you?
So I already hate going into like scary house things during Halloween, but I'll go.
Amen, brother.
If the company is right, but I would assume that this movie would turn off a lot of people into going to like those type of those haunted houses where they're manufactured and everything's fake. But that has to be a thought in someone's mind, like what if someone did that, like and actually killed somebody? Yeah, I mean, they could probably get away with it if they wanted to, like Chris said. I actually enjoyed the movie. It was really good. It actually made it less scary that it was. At first, I was thinking they were maybe like some type of demons or something.
So you thought it was maybe more of a supernatural thing happening?
Yeah, I thought there were more supernatural entities, but once I found out that they were people, it became less scary, if that makes sense. Because I mean, for me, something supernatural is always going to be more terrifying than something that is that you can physically hurt back if need be. Yeah. So and that is for me that was a pretty cool twist, because I wasn't really expecting that. I thought they were kind of. I mean, when that guy took his mask off and he had all those spikes on his face and his eyes were black and his voice was extremely deep, I actually thought he was some type of like monster or something. But then she stabbed him in the eye and he's like, "My fucking eye!" That was cool. I really enjoyed the kills in this. They were gruesome, but it wasn't like in your face, like hardcore gore.
A bit more. It was like a bit more subtle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really quick too. Like when the first friend that gets killed, when she falls through the trap door and they stab her with the hot poker in her face. You only see it for a second, and then the curtains close and it goes away, and all you really get to see is their reaction. And the couple of minutes after that, when they're like freaking out and it's, oh my god, this is real, I can't believe it. And then I feel like most of the kills were like that with them. But yeah, this is a really good pick, and I don't know. I thought the cast was pretty good, and I do agree with Chris when he said that they were pushing for you to feel really sorry or connect in some type of way with the main actress. But it just, like you said, it kind of sounds messed up, but like you don't really care that much. Because it's not, you don't have that emotional, connection with her. I would say that's probably where they messed up the most in terms of like making you feel connected to that actress or actor. But other than that, I thought it was really good, and I really enjoyed the movie, though.
I'll counter that point of view by saying that they opened the movie with her already unhappy, struggling with her abusive boyfriend or whatever. So she's already like, I feel like for a lot of people that's going to be relatable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they should stick with that one more so than the parents.
I can see where you're coming with that, because like I'm not in a physical abusive relationship, so I wouldn't understand that. But like there are people who do go through that, millions of people, so they would feel more attached and more sympathetic to the character.
Here's a better question: if you take that out, you still enjoy the movie the same?
Yeah. I feel like it's a more of a subplot.
Yeah, it's definitely like a C storyline, not even B. But
how shitty was the I mean, it sucks, like the boyfriend or ex-boyfriend, whatever he was. Yeah. His death was kind of essential to the story at all.
Yeah, I'm like, he's going to come back and he's a shithead. It's just another kill, another body count. That's what they want. Yeah. I mean, it was probably a pretty good movie to watch to kind of show her screenplay stuff. Mm-hmm. Because I'm like, he's coming back. I go, you see where he placed that bat? See how important that is? He's coming back to that bat. Like, there are certain things, but it's also because we watch so many fucking films, you see it. But yeah, like, I just think they should have either stuck with her parents and her dad being abusive more so, and then Anne do the boyfriend, like one or the other, I think we would have probably felt more instead of dealing with Debbie Downer the whole time.
Yeah.
But she did a good job. I mean, like, it was an hour and a half movie, right? It's not very long.
Yeah.
It's like 90 minutes.
30, yeah.
So they really can't do much anyway. And then with flashbacks, how hard... The only one that's ever done any movie that showed a whole life and made you cry, made you feel everything in 10 minutes is Up. No one can beat that. And
Totally agree.
Yeah, I don't think people should try. Because that's almost impossible to do. So yeah, like, that story part just didn't... When they cut to her, I ended up looking at my phone. I didn't care about that part. Yeah, so that...
I know what part you're talking about, yeah.
So it was like, that kind of stuff's like, whatever. But it did make, like, it is a cool story for her when she starts standing up for herself.
Yeah.
But I think anyone... They should just make...
Nice.
Yeah, they should just make her get picked on by her friends or something, where we got to see it more, that she's a little mousy, she doesn't stand up for herself, and then at the end of this she does. Which would have been a little bit... I think my rewrite would have been kind of been better, but I get what they're trying to do, and I get, like, why. It's a very important subject to breach, but, I mean, you're already talking about, like, murder and shit. Like, let's just have fun with it.
These horror films like these have to, because they're usually on a budget shooting schedule, they have to really toss you into whatever the scenario is.
No, I get that
fairly quickly, you know.
I think the rule is, like, for going into a scene, start late, leave early. So you start in middle of conversation, you leave before it ends.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you kind of see that. Like, it's a tough thing to do. I would have cut that all together.
The part where I can relate to her is when she's at the bar or the club or whatever, and she's, like, sitting down, like, by herself. Like, I can totally relate to that. That's me at every single party I've ever been to.
And he waves her over, and it's not to her.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's me. I mean, you can ask Alyssa. She hates, like, when we go out places and I'm there. She's like, "What the fuck's wrong with you?" And I'm just like, it's not my scene. I feel comfortable here. But that's just me. So that's part of the. I can relate to that part of the character, but the abusive, a significant other and families, I not so much. But for the family thing, I feel like it wasn't. It, like Chris kind of said, they didn't really have enough to show, and they didn't have enough time to film. So,
or maybe they did kind of cut it out.
Yeah, and that could be the case too. It could have been a decision by the team to kind of cut that out, but it just feels like you said, it didn't really have that enough time to fit that into that hour and 30 minutes or whatever it was that they had. And
then with the end, it was a great ending.
I love the ending.
Give me a montage of her, like, Home Alone in it, you know? Like, I would have loved to seen that, because that's like, she knows it's coming, she's preparing, like, boom. So
I feel like they wanted you to, for the end, that kind of twist, and there's two kind of twist endings in this, but the final conclusion is he thinks he's got the drop on her, that she doesn't, that he's like, yo, like, she killed all my fucking friends, and she doesn't know I'm coming, or whatever, and little, she's rigged this fucking house the same exact way. And I think she does all the things that they did to her, right, through their maze or whatever. So it all kind of comes full circle, and she's kind of taking her identity back. And
you're talking about the ending?
Yeah,
that would actually be kind of a cool sequel to a survivor. Say, like, all these, they didn't kill most of the people. One survives, and then she goes back and hunts them. And you get gruesome kills that way.
Well, I mean, they definitely they set up because it's very subtle, but they do say when they run into that kid in the Dracula mask, he's like, yo, I'm just working for him. Like, I didn't kill anybody. I promise. They told me, like, we're in this cult thing, and if I want to earn my mask, then I got to do what they say or whatever, So with that, we could go back and do a prequel as into why they started this, you know what I mean? Or what that cult is. And what I loved about this film for me is I was not expecting them to be heavily modified underneath those masks, you know what I mean? Where they're because they play on that a lot, where, you really want me to you really want to know who I am? Because I already know your fucking address, and when you actually see these people, they've had, like, custom